Well, I wanted to continue on the policy that I felt very passionate about during the time I was governor. And so the only way that you really can do that well is to be connected to an academic institution like a university. And so we were looking around, and there were several universities that we were considering, and USC by far was the best place for me to be. First of all, it was in town. Second of all, they were very kind of like out of the box thinking, and they liked my ideas of the Schwarzenegger Institute as a kind of bipartisan institute that is very inclusive, and that we cover issues that I feel passionate about, which is environmental issues, gerrymandering issues, healthcare issues, after-school program issues, and infrastructure issues. So and immigration issues. To me, the most important thing is that we teach students not just what is the problem, and to teach them the academic stuff. Academic information is very, very important, because the more information you have, the better decisions you can make. But I want students to learn how to do something about it. Because, you know, you go to a lot of environmental conferences, for instance, and the environmentalists and scientists would be talking about all the problems and all the different issues, and, you know, what is the danger and what's going to happen in the future. But no one is really motivating people to rise up and to do something about it. So I want students to learn, okay, you get this information now about the environment, what are you going to do about it? And how can you go about doing something about it? And this is why I wanted them to study carefully the historic legislation that was done, AB 32. So to really know what went in there to get this done, and what impact does it have, and what impact can a person have in this thing, and when you show leadership and so on. So I want them to learn, to take this information that they learned here and now to go out and do something about it and move the needle forward. And I want them all to become warriors in the environmental movement. I want them to learn how to design and write laws, how to go about doing it, how to go and communicate the proper way, how to use your social media the proper way, how to go and go after the legislators to go in a certain direction, and really, you know, kind of be an activist. Not only just someone that has the knowledge, but be an activist and really create change. I traveled through all 50 states and visited many schools to promote health and fitness and training and exercising, daily exercising. But at the same time, I saw at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when I was leaving the schools, I saw always hundreds of kids standing outside the school. And I said to the school principal or to a teacher, whoever I saw, I said, why are all the students standing around out there? They said, well, there's no one picking them up anymore today because, you know, times have changed. 70% of the kids come from a home where both of the parents are working. So these kids really don't have a parent available to go into homework with them, take them to the sports field, or to pick them up and take them home. So they're drifting around on the streets. So I looked at it and I said to myself, this is crazy. So now I had this knowledge of what these people gave me, but I did something about it. I created an after-school program. And I started raising money. And then not only that, but in California, we went out and we did Proposition 49, an initiative where people voted, 57% of the people voted for putting $500 million more into after-school programs than we had originally in California. So that's what I wanted the students to learn, is you see an idea, you see a problem, fix it. Fix it. Don't just talk about it. Don't complain and sit in front of the television and say, oh, politics is terrible, how divided the nation is today, Democrats and Republicans go. Well, what is your idea? What do you do about it? Get off that couch and go out and do something about it. That is my message to the students. Don't just learn, but do something about it. If you study political science, go out there and do something about that. Change politics the way it is done today. Well, I mean, there are some countries that are very successful with nuclear, like for instance France, but there's a lot of other countries that went totally the other way, right? Like in Austria, my home country, or Germany, France, or neighboring countries in Europe, they went away from nuclear. And, you know, I think that the real challenge is to create renewable energy because it's clean, it is safe, it doesn't cause any harm to anybody. Even though you have today President Trump saying that windmills, the sound of windmills causes cancer, but it's a bogus statement. I mean, who says that? And where are the people that have gotten cancer from a sound of a windmill? So I mean, windmills is the answer, solar is the answer. There's various different ways of creating the energy rather than going to the direction of coal and fossil fuels in general. And I think we have to go and find new ways of creating that energy. And I think there's really great technology that's being developed right now. I'm very happy because I think in the end, it is technology that will save us all. Well, I think with me it's interesting because everything that I've done kind of like helps me for my next move or my next career. So for instance, bodybuilding was very helpful to get me into the movie business. And the movie business and the fame that I got from the movie business helped me then get into politics. And now having been governor and having the movie kind of career and the bodybuilding career and all this stuff, I use that fame and that power of influence for all the various different things like environmental causes, getting rid of gerrymandering causes, fighting and trying to terminate gerrymandering, if it is after-school programs, if it is my work with Special Olympics or whatever it is, it is helpful when you can take this power of influence and use it for something good. So I always say, I never give up anything, I always add. And this is, I think, the important thing. And then the other thing I want to mention is there are so many wonderful lessons that you learn when you're involved in sports. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that one of the things that you learn is that on a rise to the top, you will fail many times. And I think that's important for people to know because it's not just about winning. It is, in the end, it's the winning, but along the way, you will fail. And I remember the amount of times I couldn't lift a certain weight, and I tried it again and again and again, and then finally it happened. So I learned that you never give up, and you never listen to the naysayers. Because when I was getting into bodybuilding in Austria, and everyone said, Austria is not a bodybuilding place. I mean, we do soccer, we do canoeing, and we do bicycle riding, and we do track and field and stuff, and skiing. We're ski champions, but we're not bodybuilding champions. Why would you get into bodybuilding? Forget about that. So I didn't listen to that, to the naysayers, because the whole idea, no one has ever done it, didn't really work for me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because I say myself, like Nelson Mandela said, everything seems to always to be impossible until someone does it, and that's how I felt. I said, if someone hasn't done it yet, then I will be I will be the first one doing it, and so I did it. And so you learn those kind of things. You also learn that, for instance, one of the big lessons is team effort. Don't ever think that you yourself did anything by yourself. I mean, I remember the teachers that I had, the coaches that I had, the training partners that I had, the people that took me to Germany, from Austria to Germany, and to give me a job as a trainer, the Joe Weider who brought me to America. Then in America I was received with open arms by all those bodybuilders and people that trained in the gym. They gave me dishes and silverware and towels and pillows and bedwear. So I have a home and that is somewhat kind of equipped. And in the show business, the amount of people that helped me get into movies and all this. So it's like millions of people. And think about how many people voted for me for being governor, right? Millions. So without them, I wouldn't have become governor. So I mean, the list goes on. So I am a strong believer to always let people know, I learned in bodybuilding that without my trainers, and with my training partners and people that helped me, the nutrition experts and all this, I would have not made it. So I'm not a self-made man. We got to be inclusive, we got to open up our arms and bring people in, and also we got to go and listen to other people, listen to their input. And that's why I said earlier, it is crazy for anyone to think that the Republicans have all the best ideas or the Democrats have all the best ideas. We need everyone together. Because when I think about my bodybuilding career, and I think about when I talk to nutritionists and to bodybuilding experts and weightlifting experts and all this, there were some that were conservatives, there were some that were liberals. If I would have just chosen one or the other, I would have only had half of the talent. So that's why I think that you learn in sports, everyone should be brought in, and you need everyone's ideas, and the same is in politics, and the same is in movies, and the same is in everything in life.